Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Alison Collard de Beaufort, Vision Zero Youth Council, and our esteemed panel.
Perfect. Hello, everyone. It's an absolute honor to be here and to have this amazing panel to talk a little bit about something that doesn't get talked a lot about, road safety. So if you're trying to do the math, I'm 24, and I have been involved in road safety for 10 years, which is coming on half of my life now. And how does that happen? Well, unfortunately for me, it's a personal connection. I lost my grandmother in 2006 to a car crash. We never found out what happened. A couple of years later, when I was an 8th grader in middle school, I lost my friend Sammy, who was crossing the street after school. A couple months after that, one of my friends from my dance class in my middle school was waiting at the bus stop with her mom and her sister. Someone who was intoxicated jumped the curb, killed her, and sent her mom and her little sister to the hospital for months. A couple months after that, I was a freshman in high school, and I had a friend killed by a speeding driver on his way home from school. So if you ask me what road safety means, to me it's everything. And it's not just an individual thing, it's a collective thing. And it is way more than just texting and driving, drinking and driving, all of that. It's connected to the Sustainable Development Goals. It's connected to climate. It's connected to gender equality. It's connected to poverty. It's connected to economic development. I could go on and on and on. But enough with the sad stuff. We're going to talk about the happy stuff, about the people doing the things to make this problem go away. And crossing my fingers, hopefully that happens sooner rather than later, because right now, it's the leading cause of death for young people ages 5 to 29 worldwide, and every day, 500 kids are killed. So again, enough of the sad stuff. Let's talk about the happy stuff. So I've explained my why, but Sam, I'd like for you to tell us a little bit about why road safety is so important to you and the foundation.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Alison, and thank you for sharing that very personal story of your connection to road safety. That's very moving, and I think it tees up the importance of our conversation today. And thank you, Peter, thank you, Kata, for joining us today. We're very excited. We're very passionate about road safety, and our hope is that we can share that passion with all of you today. I'm Sam Stevens. I have the privilege of serving as the Chief Executive of AB InBev Foundation. And we're a corporate philanthropy that invests in innovative solutions to neglected challenges within public health and within the Sustainable Development Goals. And within public health, we really focus on responsible alcohol consumption, what we call smart drinking programs. And in sustainable development, we focus on some of the key issues that are neglected globally, including social entrepreneurship, water access, sustainable agriculture, and disaster response and resilience. And we're passionate about road safety because we view road safety as a critical and yet neglected element that's necessary to achieve all of those different pillars of work. Alison, as you were saying, sustainable development. Think about moving the needle on the SDGs. If we want to improve access to education, if we want to improve access to jobs, if we want to improve access to infrastructure, what's required in all of those cases? Roads, safe roads. Without safe roads, we're not going to be able to make the progress that we need to make across all 17 of the SDGs. In the humanitarian space, think about the critical role that roads play in getting aid and support to those affected. Again, without safe roads, we can't achieve effective disaster response. So for us, all the pillars of work that we are engaged in, road safety is at the foundation of every single one of them, because without safe roads, we're not going to achieve progress in our pillars, and we're not going to achieve progress globally on the Sustainable Development Goals.
I love that answer. I love to tell people that I think road safety as the umbrella issue and not just a subtopic that you might want to consider sometimes at some point. And on the cross-sector side of things, we're talking cross-issue. how does cross-sector partnerships help you achieve your road safety goals?
Yeah, that's such a great question, and I'm excited to hear from Peter and Kata on this as well. And I think this panel is representative of the kinds of partnerships that we strive to engage in. We recognize as a philanthropy, we have a role to play, right? Philanthropies are great at taking risks, testing new ideas, proving concepts, and then handing those concepts off for others to scale. So philanthropy has a unique advantage in the global space. So there's things that we do well and there's things that we don't do so well. And that's why we can engage partners like AB InBev Corporate, like Together for Safer Roads, to engage their strengths, because each sector has its own unique set of strengths. And when you're strategic and when you're intentional about building partnerships that bring different types of sectors together, but also more importantly, specific strengths from specific sectors, you can have a coalition that amplifies the strengths of each party, but then also overcomes, mitigates, fills the gaps and the weaknesses that the parties might have as well. And so a coalition, a partnership like this, we're able to come together on an issue that we're all very passionate about, road safety. We're passionate about it from different perspectives and for different reasons, but we can bring our unique set of strengths and our unique advantages to the partnership and achieve greater progress collectively.
Amazing. Kata, I'm going to jump to you. Could you share a little bit your why and why road safety and the AB InBev Foundation and corporate, how does that align with the Sustainable Development Goals? What does it mean to you?
Yes, thank you so much, Alison. It is a great pleasure to be here today with this outstanding panelists and this incredible audience. I want to begin by sharing something we can all relate with. And think about how each of us arrived here today. So in my case, I walk. So I'm sure many of you did the same, especially nowadays in New York during UN week. So right now, many of my family, your family, friends, colleagues are driving, are walking, are taking public transportation. So this makes road safety a deeply personal issue. So as a company, AB InBev takes road safety as a priority. With a global footprint in operating in more than 50 countries, distributing our beer in more than 150, and working with a very robust value chain, 6 million customers, 80,000 suppliers, more than 20,000 farmers. So we have a large fleet that is critical for our operations. Every day, thousands of vehicles are traveling the roads, distributing our product, and our priority is ensure that our drivers are safe, but also the communities we serve. We also work since many, many years on eliminating drink driving. So there's an example in South Africa that we developed together with the police, bringing technology into the process to do data collection analysis and design interventions very effective through partnerships. So this is important because really this connects with the support we have with the UN SDGs, especially SDG 3, around well-being, improving road safety, is the SDG 11, better cities, better infrastructure, safer roads, and SDG 17, as you were saying, Sam, the importance of collaboration, of doing partnerships because we all have a role to play. So definitely road safety isn't just a business issue. It's a way to collaborate for safer communities so we have a more sustainable global future.
I love that we keep talking about collaboration and partnerships. Kata, can you share a little bit more about what that role will continue to be in the future?
Of course. We truly believe that public-private partnerships are critical. working together. We do work with local governments, with different experts in road safety, academic sector, with the UN agencies like UNITAR, the Institute for Training and Research of the UN. And we have been doing several city pilots to learn what works and what doesn't work. So the case of Brazil, we started in Brasilia with an integral approach to address the road safety problems with data collection, designing a solution measuring impact. And that methodology demonstrated that works. So UNITAR came and codified this methodology and make it into toolkits that now they are translated in 10 languages. And very proud to say that this has been expanded to more than 30 countries, 108 interventions, with the support also of TSR, AB InBev Foundation, the Institute for Road Federation, UNITAR, and it's more than 115 partners in all these countries working all together. So also innovation is crucial as part of these road safety initiatives, and also to address any other world challenges. Using technology, we did it in South Korea, implementing ignition interlock in our trucks as a pilot again, and then it worked, and now it's a national law. So just to wrap up on the value of partnerships, I would say there are 4 key elements to make a partnership successful. First one is sharing a vision, common goals among all of us that are participating in this collaboration, right? So everybody wins, and we address a common interest, a common goal. Leveraging strengths, as we did with UNITAR, we had the experience of data collection, management, project management, and they have the strength on training and scaling up. So that combination of efforts is very important. Transparency, open communications, measuring impact, learning from that so that we can refine and then scale up. And a long-term commitment. So in this case, UNITAR, we have been working since 2018, and we continue learning, refining, so that we can do more with greater impact and scaling up the best practices.
The examples you've shared are so powerful, and I think it really exemplifies that it's possible. And Peter, I want to come back to you, and can you tell us what your secret is for road safety and what makes cross-sector partnerships successful?
Absolutely. Thank you for facilitating the conversation. So Peter Goldwasser, Executive Director of Together for Safer Roads, which is an international NGO. And my job, really, I often joke, is one of the best in the world. It is to leverage the resources, knowledge, expertise of our members, which are some of the biggest companies in the world and leading cities and organizations, to help them do a little bit better every day when it comes to road safety. And so it's a great privilege, it's a great honor. So to your question there, I like to talk about it in terms of how do you close the gap between the moral and the market imperative? And what I mean by that is, and the gentleman before on the previous panel about purpose and profit, I think began to talk about this as well, is everybody wants to do good, but that's not necessarily enough. I think you have to think about practically and politically and tactically around how do you develop partnerships that deliver an ROI defined broadly? Because every company is going to may want to do good, but what does that mean? And so how do you develop a partnership that will enable, let's say, employee retention? That'll be a place where employees want to stay there. How do you develop a partnership that's going to deliver value if you define value from a regulatory or legislative perspective? How do you develop a program that will deliver ROI if you define it from the ability to test new emerging technologies? And so there's lots of different ways, I think, that can ultimately help you close that gap between the moral and market imperatives. So you're developing programs that enable the company to do good, but do good in a strategic way. I would say second there is around having a flexible definition of success. So I think you want your large, grand North Star definition of what success looks like. It's funny, you spend so much time bringing people together in all of these different partnerships, but you often don't necessarily ask the question of, well, what does success look like? And then also, what are the intermediate steps of success? To that, I think another important factor is you can't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. And I think that's very important there, especially with this type of work, which by its nature means that you have lots of different parties involved, and success is going to look different for everybody. And I think finally, timelines, and again, seemingly very obvious, but when you talk about partnerships, when you talk about big grand partnerships involving lots of different people, perhaps nationally, internationally, timing is very important, because one partner, let's say, that's bringing critical financing to the partnership may say, listen, we need to have something wrapped up. We need to be able to show demonstration of success by X quarter because we have Y presentation to X board member. Another city might say, listen, we need success by X date. And so I think you really need to be flexible in terms of what are the timing, how do you create a program that's going to deliver definite examples of success at smaller increments above and beyond the overall completion of the project.
Absolutely. And you've touched on a couple of different examples there, but could you dive a little bit deeper into a specific program that really highlights the impact and scope of a partnership model and what that looks like for you?
Yes, hopefully I have time. Two programs, because they're wonderful and they involve a lot of our amazing members. So I want to shine the lights on them, including the fine folks on the stage with me. So the first one is a program that we're working with the AB InBev Foundation and others on around a predictive data portal. It's above my pay grade in terms of understanding the technology behind it, but I'm helping to bring it along. But essentially, we were having conversations with the foundation, with Sam and his team, and they said, listen, we have this amazing algorithm. We want to help bring it to countries and cities and areas that may not have the internal ability and resources to develop their own algorithm to predict where dangerous spots are on the road. Can you help us? One way that you could help us is if you can have access to larger data sets. So essentially, to make the wonky program work better, they need lots of data. Well, guess what? TSR, some of our members, are some of the biggest fleets in the world and leading telematics and hardware companies who have all this data. So it's a perfect role for TSR to be able to sit in, to be able to connect the dots between the providers of the data with the foundation, who then want to take it, improve it, and then distribute it out. The second program I want to talk about is something called Focus on Fleet Safety. Not to steal our own thunder, but there's another event going on on the east side of the island today, and we'll be making some big announcements on that later this week. But the Focus program is a comprehensive fleet safety training program that we develop with our members to help create cultures of safety for small and mid-sized fleets that may not have the resources. And I think it's a perfect example of why an organization like ours plays a critical role, and then also public-private partnerships, in that we take the information and the knowledge and the expertise of our members in terms of how do you talk about technology, how do you create safety training programs, how do you evaluate success, and then we wrap it up into a program, and then we create cohorts of small fleets, and then we offer it for free to these smaller fleets so that they can improve and create cultures of safety. So again, it's sort of bringing the best of all the different partners together to ultimately have all boats rise, or in this case, all cars and trucks rise on the streets to be safer.
Incredible. Yeah, I mean, all three of you have shared incredible examples of why you need to build that community across all sectors to, solve road safety. And thank you so much, Peter, Sam, Kata, for sharing your expertise and all of your examples with us.
Thanks so much.